Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It is Marvin speaking. We're just going to go through some of the community Streamline messages. Thank you, Streamliners and the public, for all your messages. There's so much to talk about at the moment in the Jay Slater case. Still, Lily 6 and Jack 4 are missing, and a lot of people think their parents know more. It's a very, very interesting case. Please go and look at that case. In the remote part of Canada, of a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old basically wandering off, said the parents, it's technically into the wilderness. And this is the 6th day of the police and basically people trying to find out basically where they are or where they've gone. And it's still a missing persons case. I don't know how at the moment, 6 days in, and where would those kids go unless they've been picked up by someone? It's a very, very odd case, people, but please check it out. It is very, very interesting, and I hope that the parents get answers and the family get answers as soon as possible. Pinky Pup, how you doing? Thank you for your support on this channel. Love your messages. And you really do make sense as well. Considering how many people going missing in Tenerife and how many bodies crop up in nasty circumstances, would it not be especially important to have spoken to every witness and person present, as perhaps a pattern could emerge and further harm could be prevented to others? Thank you very much. I did mention that, Pinky Bub. One thing I did mention about MWT is that he didn't really talk about any of the stuff we're talking about. Jay at the club, Jay being taken away, an eyewitness who actually put that out there. There are other people with more information. There was nothing. The Airbnb, his suspicion. I think he was a little bit on it from the start because he didn't know anything. I think when he realised who was involved, he sort of took a back seat that it was an accident. I just don't get his way of thinking. Thank you very much, Pinky Pub. She then goes on to say, listening to what DTR said just makes me think of something. Surely the autopsy would have revealed multiple embedded cactus needles, given the terrain we were shown and where the phone is apparently pinged. That's a really, really good question. Thank you very much for that. You're right. It would show that, but like I said, the autopsy, we did get something from it, but the family not allowed to see his body, that was a big wake-up call. Ellie, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. I smell a rat here about the 2 kids that have gone missing in Canada, remote part of Canada. I smell a rat here. Why go to sleep when your kids are still up? Yeah, that's a really, really good point. It's bizarre, but like I said, we've just got to hope that they're found. But going into the 6th day and they still haven't found them, it's very, very strange to me. You would have thought they would have found those kids within 12 to 24 hours, I'd say. Del Talbot, there wouldn't be much point in the documentary if MW believes he just fell accidental. Yeah, I agree, Del Talbot. I'm pretty pissed off at him, to be honest with you. I really am, because I thought he was going to really give us something else. I was dependent on him to give us a narrative that he talked to all the friends and family. But if they were feeding him BS and he's gone back in himself because he's actually thinking, I don't really want to sort of go back over how they sort of took me for a ride. There's that point as well. Thank you very much for that. Pinky Pup goes on to say that it is very worrying previous school absence adds an additional huge element of concern to IMO. If both children are autistic, then possibly mum could be too, which could explain her reaction to some extent, perhaps. Sadly, though, that would likely increase the vulnerability of those little ones too. Yeah, I agree. That's a really, really good point. Well looked into there. I agree with you. I just hope they're found safe. I really, really do. But something tells me there's a little bit more to this case than meets the eye. Lisa Legs, when he says Lucy went off with my mate, he says my mate for Rocky. Did he? I'm not so sure. I don't think he did. I think he was on about. Tell me what you think, people. But I do think that he was on about Brandon, his mate. I'm sure of it. Because the little one we know is Brad, and he's obviously mentioned Lucy's name. And before, because I don't think, was Rocky with him at that time? I'm not 100% sure, but I think Lisa was definitely talking about Brandon there. And before falling, Jay cancelled everything from his own phone. The former policeman is Capricorn. This fact explains everything. That's very, very interesting. Yeah, yeah. Would he do that? Would Jay do that? Cancel everything from his phone? And the former policeman is Capricorn. Very, very odd. Very odd. That's a really good point. Thank you, Anne Becker. Anne R. Becker. Thank you. Dunks, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're well. Pretty sure it was me whose head he wanted to milk, whatever that means. Doesn't take much to rile old pumpkin up, does it? It doesn't. That's a really good point. That's a really good point. I like the way you put that, Duncan. Keep going, my friend. We respect it. Can't explain why Marvin, but like you, whenever I see the clip where Chris P's pumping bollocks with the opera music over it, it just cracks me off controllably. It's the people who try too hard to be taken seriously that end up so comical. I couldn't. It was bizarre, Duncan. It really was bizarre the way he just lost control of himself and put it all out there for the world to see. And everyone was like, what's going on here? Thank you very much, Duncan. And I look forward to seeing your video tomorrow. Sugar Ape, they clearly thought this narrative would do for the time being. They didn't expect people would still be looking at the stuff for so long after. It's getting to the point where the liars can't remember their own lies. These people are nuts. Sugar Ape, that's absolutely brilliant. That's put a smile on my face. You're right. They go round circles. And like I said, if this case was in England, we would be in the Crown Court by now. Well, they would be in the Crown Court, and we would just be outside watching, waiting for them to come out with the verdicts. Janet Turner, I think DTR was threatened because he was doing a great job looking for Jay. Then he left very quickly. I agree. I think he gathered that there was a lot more going on. I thought DTR did a good job, but he said when he left, he said that I'm going to talk. He's going to mention what happened to him. And like I said, he never did. And then he was seen talking to Rachel at the funeral and Pally Pally. And then it went left from there, to be honest with you. Yes, why did none of them come forward to help or speak about Jay? They all are in on it. Yeah, I agree, Janet. It just really, really pees me off in that people are turning their backs on Jay and that were all for him getting justice, and MWT said there was a criminal element. And now he technically doesn't really want to talk about it because he's made a documentary, I'd imagine. Richard, how you doing? Long time no speak. I hope you're well, my friend. He has to say it's an accident because of a secret order over the investigation. He should be ashamed of saying what he said. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Same thought as you, Marvin. Now that the script has been written for his docudrama, MWT just going off with the narrative he has settled on. The one that will get him the least criticism for official circles. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And the thing is, the podcaster, Duncan and Richard, tried to bring him out to talk about the J3, to go into the deeper. And to be honest, it didn't really make much sense. He didn't want to go into the details. And he seemed to me, I know he's passionate about helping people. I can't knock him for that. But like I said, I thought I was a bit disappointed in what he had to say. Yeah, I agree, Richard. I just think that he should be ashamed of himself because, like I said, I think he's just willing to let this case go through his documentary, and that's the last we heard of him. Well, on that case, anyway. He might have been an ex-cop. That doesn't make him right. Gets me how we can look past all the red flags in this case. Lightfoot, I agree. That's a really good point. Thank you for your support and subscribing to the channel. Joe Jones, I don't think there's any more he can tell us, Marvin. It's all for clout. You can tell straight away in his body language he knows Jay was murdered, and they say he says he fell. He died. Says it all. IMO. Yeah, really disappointed. Really disappointed in NWT. It's like I said, it's like, I just think he's been silenced and he doesn't want to go on another narrative, because I think the case technically got too big for him. UFO, something doesn't sound right. Yeah, I agree. Agree. Thank you. Jennifer, how you doing? Hard to go into say this is what happened and who's responsible are they? So I call only BS coming, IMO. Yeah, that's a good point, Jennifer. I'm just pretty not happy. I know her. I know not her face. The friend, the dancer. Yeah, but that is the Alina Patel. We believe that is Lucy's friend, and if that's on her Facebook. He also says, TGE mum, both the kids are very good looking. What the F? Good looking. Yeah, that was on the two children that went missing, on about Little Miss Matters, on about the stepfather. Yeah, that was a bit strange. Parents guilty, Mike Jakes. There's a lot more to come from this. I just hope to God that they're found alive. But it's odd that she's gone back to her family and left Daniel there, and they're not talking at the moment. Something very, very fishy in this case. But I'm sure the police are looking into it and keeping an eye on them. Marie, how you doing? Poor children. I agree. Thank you for highlighting this. I pray they are found safe. Yeah, I do too. Hope so too. Thank you, Prime Candy. Appreciate you coming to the channel. Debbie Fox, hi Marvin. Just don't feel Sally told us anything we already didn't know. The woman Isla has a lot of answers for. She's spouting rubbish and what she got to wonder, allegedly, of course. Yeah, I agree. Rebuild Africa, can you share their contacts? Oh, this is the gallery apartments, Accra. No, you can actually find them online. And then Little Miss Battered, hey there, you were the sad face, come up to my place, workout. You made me sing. Yeah, like I said, we battle on. Thank you, Little Miss Madhead. Debbie Fox, Prime Candy, Marie, Mike Jakes, Little Miss Madhead. Thank you very much. Joe Jones, Lightfoot, Duncan. Thank you for Richard. Nice to see you back. Janet Turner, Sugar Rape, Dunks. Thank you very much. Lisa Legs, Pinky Pup, and Ellie and Del Talbot. Thank you very much. And Pinky Pup, thank you very much for your insight and your messages, and they really do hit home as well. Don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Entertainment, and thank you very much. And like I said, any of these cases we were looking into, and anything comes up, myself or Ali will put something out there, or both together if she has free time. Thank you very much indeed, people. Goodbye. Oh, enjoy the football. Arsenal PSG. You know, we got to hope that our English sides actually go through to a final, and it's the big one tomorrow. Spurs in Norway. Hope we can do it and get to a final, because it's been a long time. But look, good luck to all the teams who are in Europe, especially obviously the British teams. Thank you.